Hey everybody, time for some random Icarus knowledge. I'm Benny, and here are 8 random tips that I hope you find useful. So first of all, did you know that when there's a storm coming, you can take shelter inside a boulder? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to just grab your pickaxe, and you're just going to start chopping your way through a boulder. Let me put some light on here. The goal is to make a hole big enough for you to climb up inside of there without breaking the roof. You want to make sure you have a roof over your head. All right, once you got a big enough hole, all you have to do is stealth and climb on inside. From here, you'll be safe from the storm, and you can allow it to pass. Now for our next tip, what if you need heat while you're in your boulder? Well, you obviously don't want a campfire in the boulder with you. Let's go to the next boulder. That's right, you can put campfires inside of boulders. It's a little bit different because you don't need as big a space as far as height goes, but you do need to make sure that you have enough space on the ground to accommodate the full circle of the campfire. I picked an odd size one here. If you picked a round boulder, it'd be a little bit easier. All right, once you got a space big enough that you think is going to hold your campfire, go ahead and get it back in there as far as you can. Now, the nice thing about heat sources in Icarus is that they have a really high range, at least for the important things, like the warm and cozy buff. Now, if you're trying to stay warm, you got to be closer. And you can see down at the temperature gauge, down in the bottom left there. Now, as I back up, what I want you to watch is this buff right here, my warm and cozy buff. That means I'm close enough to a fire to sleep and gain the effects from it. So I got it. And finally lost it. And there it is back again. So you've got a really long range where you can have your fire in a boulder away from your house and still be able to sleep. All right, now you notice I've got some storm exposure. I'm going to go ahead and climb inside our boulder. And you can watch my storm exposure tick right back down. Next, as long as we're sitting inside this boulder, let me show you something about buffs. So if I come in here and you'll see, yeah, this one's just about expired anyway. But let's say I wanted to swap this out for a different one. I don't have to wait for this timer to be up. All I have to do is either right click or click on the X. Once that buff's gone, I can go ahead and add something else. All right, now that the storm's basically over, let me show you another trick. When you're running around from place to place, simply hold down your gather button and you'll just keep grabbing things as you go. Don't worry about grabbing things you don't need. You can always just toss them on the ground later. But every time you gather, you gain XP. Note up in the upper left there, as my XP ticks up. Plus, you can always have those materials ready for you when you need them to build something. Here I am with a whole bunch of fiber and sticks already, and a little bit of ghost flour. One aspect of Icarus that often gets overlooked is the Bestiary. You hit J by default, and then enter the Bestiary. You'll see a list of animals in the game, as well as a percentage of completion to gaining their full Bestiary entry. So if you look at the wolf here, you'll notice that I have bonuses here, and then we have creature's traits, 15% perceived, negative 15% perceived threat, and chance for wolves to drop other rare meats, along with showing us its loot table. We'll look at the bear, and you'll notice that we got the same thing, resistance and damage versus bears. We've got creature traits, what it drops, and the stat unlock is plus 10% maximum health. That's for me, plus 10% maximum health. And 10% chance to resist deep wounds. So unlocking these bestiary entries is going to make a big difference. And not only are you unlocking the bestiary entry for your character that got the points, but for all characters on the account. So it's an account-wide achievement system that's going to give you bonuses. Now you gain bestiary points from killing animals. I see one coming right here. Now, I gained some points, as you notice up there. Instead of just skinning this rabbit, once you've unlocked it, by using the taxidermy knife to skin the rabbit, I'm going to gain even more bestiary points. I'm also going to gain a vestige. Once I use this vestige to craft a trophy, I will gain even more bestiary points towards the rabbit. So instead of just killing and then butchering the rabbit, use a skinning knife, make the trophy. You don't have to keep it afterwards, but make the trophy, gain your extra bestiary points, and get those stats going. In fact, rabbit is one that I haven't completed yet. But I've already got +2 damage versus rabbits, resistance versus, I don't know why I need resistance versus rabbits. They're never going to attack me. And I have +10% health regeneration already. So gaining these things is going to make a big difference for your character and your future characters. Next, now let's say you're running away from something. And you want to know if he's still behind you. I mean, yeah, there's the music, but how close is he? Hit C to go into third person, and then hold Alt to look behind you. Oh yeah, he's still there. Now this next tip's a little bit more advanced. Did you know you can use your dropship to move cargo? I know I've mentioned it in another video, but for those of you who haven't seen it before, basically what you do is you call your dropship close to you using a dropship recall beacon. These are the kind you can craft on planet, and there's also a kind that you can buy from the workshop. I'm going to go ahead and take one of these, put it down here. Now, this is that's my other character's dropship. That's not this character. So we're going to go ahead and call this character's dropship. Now, these do quite a bit of damage when they come down, so you don't want it close to your structures. In fact, I might be a little close to the fence. I'm hoping not. We'll find out. Just going to wait a few minutes. Your ship is going to take off from wherever it happens to be at the moment. And here it comes. Once your ship lands, you're not going to take it back up to the station. Instead, you're going to open up your inventory, and you can put whatever you want inside of here. So if you want to put everything you need for an advanced base inside of here, or let's say you're out mining and you want to ship some cargo with it, you just go ahead and throw those things in there, and then go to the next location. And here I am at my next location. Hold the pin, throw the grenade. And you see my ship over there has packed itself up. And it's going to launch back up into space. Now, the reason I'm not losing everything in that ship, or that I'm able to actually put things in that ship, is because I'm not getting on the ship with it. If I got on the ship with it and went up into the station, that wouldn't work, because you're not allowed to take those other items off the planet and up to the station. You can, however, send them into orbit and then bring them back down in the location. And there's my stone. The earliest access you're going to have to a dropship recall beacon is going to be through the orbital exchange interface, the station workshop. Once you've got an orbital exchange interface built, like this one here, it's going to be under gadgets. And you'll have to first unlock the workshop repair kit bundle, and then you can do the dropship recall beacon. Now, researching these is, of course, going to be 250 exotics, but crafting them is only 25 Ren a piece. So once you've unlocked them on the station, I much prefer that over the version that you craft on planet. If you look at the composite dropship recall, you'll see that we needed some composites, we needed iron, screws, electronics, gunpowder. So to me, $25 to buy one off of the station is a lot cheaper once you've gotten it unlocked. Next, did you know that Icarus has one of the best camera modes I've ever run into in a game? To get to it, you're just going to press 8 on the numpad. Now, that's not on your main keyboard, 8 on the numpad. That's going to put you into drone mode. Now you just fly your drone around and take pictures. You can also hit the period key by default, not on the numpad. And you'll be able to remove the user interface. So if you're streaming or you're doing a video, you'll be able to gain that nice, clean look. And if you hit left Alt, let me bring my interface back. You'll see that you have tons of different camera controls, and you can set different presets for different camera looks that you want to have. And lastly, did you know that only one person in your group needs to have DLC for you all to play it? That's right, only the host needs to have the DLC. So let's say we're going to do a new open world, and I'm going to host it for my friends. Well, you see that I could host an Olympus game, a Prometheus game, or an Elysium game. I never did purchase sticks. If I want to play on sticks, and one of my friends has it, all he has to do is host the game, and I can feel free to play. Now, that is just the map. There are proprietary recipes that I might not have access to that are specific, but for the most part, you're going to be able to play just about the full experience of having bought the DLC yourself, just by having somebody else host it. Same goes for dedicated servers. If the first person to log into the dedicated server and set up a prospect has the Dangerous Horizons DLC, they can fire up an Elysium map and run that on the server, and anybody who logs into the server, even when the host isn't on at the moment, will be able to participate in that Elysium server. All right, I hope you found some of those tips useful for today. If you have any tips of your own that you want to see in the next video, go ahead and put them down in the comments. And if I do use your tip, I will put your name at the end of that video. So thanks to all my channel members for your support. I mean, you know it means a lot to me. And I hope I'll see everybody next time. Check out the merch down below if you want to help support the channel. And until next time, everybody have a great day. Benny out.